Hello. A quick little live on here again today. Today is a very important message. I wanted to talk to you guys about how do you feel when you are still? You are extremely wounded if being still does not make you feel at ease. So if you are still, I want you to observe what is happening in your system. What is happening in your system when you're still? Are you being okay, at ease, at peace? Because that's how it's supposed to be. Or do you feel triggered, wounded? All of a sudden you feel annoyed, irritated, because all those hidden things, all those hidden feelings that was suppressed in your system now are getting a chance to come to the surface. So how does that make you feel? When you are still, are you now all of a sudden feeling triggered? You feel irritated? You feel like the world is so unfair. This happened and that happened, and oh my God, I did not like when that person spoke to me like that. I did not like when this happened to me in my childhood. I did not like how others are being treated better than me. I did not like what happened to me at work. I did not like that this happened to me and that happened to me and that was unfair and that left me heartbroken and this hurt me. Are you thinking all of those things? Does it make you feel triggered and annoyed, maybe insecure, maybe jealous, maybe like very angry because everything is so unfair in this world? How does that make you feel? Ask yourself this question. If you are still for even let's say 30 minutes, how do you deal with your stillness? Because that is an indication that it's going to tell you whether you need healing or you don't need healing at all. So what is the indicator that you need healing and you need coaching is when you are still in the moments of stillness. How do you feel in your stillness? Are you okay with being still, or do you feel triggered, annoyed, angry, and all those rough feelings are coming to the surface and now you're having to deal with them and you absolutely hate dealing with them? And so what happens is, in order to trying to cope with that rough feeling that you're not liking so much, what you do is you run towards productivity. You're running towards productivity. So we see so many YouTube channels that are being created every single day. So many YouTube channels about what? Productivity. This niche has probably grown quite a lot over the last few years. Everybody's crazy about productivity. And while that may be a very good thing to be very productive, at the same time, hold on a minute, because you need to question yourself. Are you using your productivity to get ahead in life in a healthy way? Or are you using productivity to run away from your feelings? What are you using your productivity for? Are you just using that as an escape? As a coping mechanism? Because a lot of people do that. When you are sad, when you are depressed, you need healing. What happens is, because you don't want to deal with those problems, you don't want to deal with the feelings, what you do is you run away from them. And when you run away from them, it's like, okay, let me work, let me do this, let me get very productive. Then you build some OCD along the way, you become perfectionist along the way. All these things are very chronic. It's like a chronic disease, and it doesn't end because it's a circle that continues and it adds up more and more. So we do live in a very chronic, busy culture, chronic, masculine, busy environments, chronic work stress. I'm checking the comments and there's literally no comments coming in today. This is how quiet we are today. Thank you, Arzu. Hi, how are you? I literally went just straight into this video because I get very distracted when I start reading you guys' comments. Anyway, if you are seeing this video on any other platform, then I go live actually on my Instagram at MeLadyEsha. By the way, before we get back to the topic, hello Usma, how are you? The Rich Bitch Energy ebook is available at, it is a pre-launch price, by the way. This is an early bird pricing, right? And you'll be able to check out on the website now. Everything is there. It's a very easy to navigate website. If you just go to ladyesha.com, you will be able to purchase and order in your ebook at an early bird, a discounted price. The price is going to be different on the day of launch. So when you order it now, you get in with a very good pricing, okay? Guys, please turn on your notifications when you go to my website. No, sorry, when you go to my Instagram profile here, you can, I think, turn on your notifications. So every time I go live, you are notified, okay? So that way you will know what topics we're talking about. Today we're talking about how wounded are you and how will you ever know you are wounded? Because what is a good indication is how do you deal with your stillness? How well do you deal with your stillness? That's the question. So let's say today you have lots of time and all of a sudden you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to relax myself today. And that's what you think. But because you're so used to the chronic hustle culture, thank you, Nasiha. You're so used to the chronic masculinity, the chronic hustle culture, the busy stress schedule, blah, blah, blah. It becomes a disease, that even when you want to be still, you don't like how it feels because all of a sudden you start remembering the past traumas. And not everybody does, by the way. This is for the ones who have this problem. This is for the ones who, when they are still, they are triggered and they don't understand, I'm tired. I'm so tired, I need some sleep, but I can't sleep. I'm so tired that I need some rest. I need to stay at peace all day, do nothing. Just sit by the beach, sit on the couch, do nothing. But oh my God, I don't like that stillness. Damn, because it's bringing up all that dirt from the inside. It's bringing it to the surface. And now all of a sudden I hate everything because I hate how that feels. I hate that I'm thinking about the world being so unfair. That's probably your problem. You hate the feeling that, oh my God, this happened to me in my childhood. You keep telling yourself these stories. Many ladies that come to me for the coachings and stuff, they all have one problem in common. Guess what that is? When they are still, they hate being still. They all have one thing in common. They're perfectionist ladies. They have OCD. I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty of that too. We all live in the same environment. We all are conditioned the same way. We function literally the same way. As complex and as different as we all may be, our problems are all so interrelated to one another because they're so similar in nature. We all love using productivity as an escape. And what are we running away from? Our own feelings, our own thoughts, our own problems. That is what you're running away from. So every time you find yourself in a state where you really know that your body and your mind needs some rest and it needs some sleep and it needs stillness, but you never allow yourself that because the triggers come on the surface, right? Like all the feelings that were buried inside, now all of a sudden they have a chance to come to the surface. And oh my God, you hate that. You hate thinking, you hate sitting there with all of your feelings displayed right in front of you, and you hate how that feels. You don't know how to deal with that. You don't know how to sit down with your own thoughts and your own emotions because you hate that feeling. Who is getting the ebook on the discounted price? Why is this happening? Honestly, I do not like. Genuinely in my business, I do not like doing any discounts. I'm not the discount kind of girl. I normally buy whatever I like, and I like my audience to kind of be in the same vibe because that is ultimately the rich bitch energy. We don't really wait for sales and discounts. Whatever we feel called towards, whatever our intuition says, we go for that because we know ultimately that is what is guiding us to the right path. That is what is going to take us further. It could be anything, and this ebook is very transformational actually. And even for men, I'm actually quite excited and also very happy that even certain men in my audience have actually purchased the book. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so interesting because it just goes to show that people really want to know so much about women, generally. Not in a bad way, but we all want to understand each other. You know what I'm saying? Like women want to know more about themselves because they may not be aware. You all want to know whether you are the average, triggered, insecure little Uber girl, or if you have the possibility of being that ultimate rich bitch, divine feminine energy, because she attracts everything very easy. So where do you stand? You'll be able to tell your score once you read the ebook. And on the day of launch, the price is going to go up. So right now you have a chance to get that at an early bird ticket pricing, so it's going to be a bit cheaper. So you can place your orders in now for the website. Why can I not speak today? You can place your orders now on the website for the ebook, which is MeLadyEsha.com. Oh, no, hello. It's too hard to stay at home, especially if you're a working woman. I think it's because you start to think about all the things you have been through when you are free and have nothing to do. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. How do you know you need healing? How will you ever get to know? Because that's a very common question I get asked. How would I know I need healing? And one thing I have discussed in the ebook, how an Uber girl and a rich bitch energy will deal with their healing awareness. Will they accept it or not? Will they even go on that journey of healing ever or not? Because an Uber girl may not do that. An Uber girl is not about healing. Because why? Healing starts with awareness. Awareness starts with education. Are you educating yourself about this subject? If you're not, then you're just going to live the way you are and nothing is ever going to change. Every time you find yourself being still in life, you will have to deal with those unwanted feelings and unwanted thought patterns because you haven't healed yourself. And what makes you think you don't need healing? What makes you think your life has been so perfect? Because honestly, nobody's life has ever been perfect in history of mankind. It's never been perfect. Somebody have childhood problems. Somebody have traumas that come from their parents, let's say. Some people have traumas that come from the society, from your working environments. Trauma could be not just from your childhood. It could also be that maybe a few years ago you were in a very, very toxic work environment in a certain field that you hated so much and that left you a little wounded. It could be that. It could also be a past relationship that you just left probably a few months ago or a few years ago. Don't know. A few days ago. That could leave you with so much trauma in your body too. And while you consciously may not be very aware of that, subconsciously your mind really knows. And it's like wandering everywhere, left, right, and center. And those feelings and thoughts only come to the surface when you allow them to come to the surface. When is that? When you stay still. When you sit down quiet. When you go and have a beach day and you're quiet. Observe your feelings. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And deal with those thoughts. Deal with those feelings. Don't run away from them. Don't be like, oh, you know what? This doesn't feel right. Actually, let me call my friend. Hey, shall we meet up? No, you don't do that. No, you're not allowed to do that, okay? You sit quiet. You don't meet anyone. You don't call your friends to bitch about things. No, you don't. You stay quiet. Can you do that for me? Try that, okay? And then tell me, how do you feel? Comment down under this video if you're seeing this later on. Tell me, how do you feel? How did you deal with those feelings? The more you deal with those feelings and you just let them come to the surface and you just observe your feelings, you observe your thoughts, that is how you'll be able to actually finally cope with them once and for all. Slowly, you start becoming aware of them and you're like, okay, those thoughts are back again. Okay, those feelings are back again on the surface. Let me deal with them. Let me think through. Let me observe my feelings. No problem. Sit down and be like, okay, you guys are back here again. Okay, I get it. Think what you want to think. Tell me what you want to tell me. Feel, what do you want me to feel? Feel it. No problem. I'm here. Talk to me. So you have to accept and welcome your own thoughts. Welcome your own feelings. That is how your healing starts. Healing will never start when you start running away from things. Let me just get another assignment and let me just do all together because I'm Miss Perfectionist. Or I have OCD. Let me do everything today. No, that's not how healing works. You're always going to stay in your Uber girl energy if you do not heal, if you do not deal with all these things. Let me read some comments. If there's any important questions, please guys leave them now down below. Can you tell us about your healing journey? What do you recommend? There's many books I can recommend you all day long, and there's so many. It depends. What are you asking about? Are you asking about money? Because many of you guys have money blocks. You need to heal that. Because if you don't have much money, it means you're not able to manifest a lot of money. Why? Because there's blockages in your life, in your thoughts. Here is the blockage, here. But obviously, if you're going to ask me right now, if you're talking about the rich witch energy and stuff, I'm going to recommend my own ebook, which is the Uber Girl versus the Rich Bitch Energy, which you can see all up on my stories on Instagram anyway. If you go to MeLadyEsha.com, that's where you'll find the ebook. That's what I'll recommend. Start there. It will give you an awareness about every aspect of you as a person. Your education, your past, your present, your future, your finances, your money, your family, your marriage, your dating life, your friendships. It covers so many different departments because it's written about women. And so we as women, we wear so many hats, right? I don't even have to tell you. You are a sister. So I have mentioned sisters in there too. So like there's a section all about sisters. There's a section all about friends. Then you're a daughter. Then there's that. Then there's parenting. There's that. Then you're a wife. The marriage is there. Then you're a girlfriend maybe. The dating is there too. You're a friend. The friendship is there too. You go through education. The education is part there too. The education part is there too. I don't know. There's so much we do, right? And I wanted to cover all aspects of life as much as I possibly could, obviously, and then mention how an Uber girl would deal in that situation and how the rich bitch energy, what kind of approach does she have? Also, by saying meditation too can heal you. Meditation cannot completely heal you, but what meditation does, it contributes a lot towards your healing, because what happens in meditation, again, as I said, relating to the topic for today, in meditation, what happens? You are sitting quietly, you are still, right? That is the whole point of this life today. Be still. In meditation, you are still. But the thing is, you're shutting down everything. I don't want you to shut down right now. What I need you to do is be still, physically still, mentally still, but let the feelings come to you. Let your thoughts come to you. Feel them, think them through, observe them, welcome them with open arms, in other words, and deal with them. Meditation, again, is a very good practice. I mean, I'm always going to be vouching for that. That's the best thing ever. But again, using only meditation as 100% healing thing, that doesn't work. There's a reason there's life coaches. There's a reason there's doctors. There's a reason there's like psychologists and psychiatrists and philosophers and, mentors. There's a reason. There's a reason this industry is like important and huge. Because humans need that. That's why. Because it's a real thing. If you know, it's that kind of a thing, Why you sound deep and I have no idea. I think it's maybe because I'm a little low on energy today for some reason. When I'm like very energetic, my voice is so high pitched and like I speak so fast because my mind is working so fast. Today I'm like and when I'm like this is my original voice, So it looks like there is no important questions, guys. The conclusion for today's live: sit down, sit still, let your feelings come to the surface, heal with them. Don't go back into your chronic circle of work stress and this stress and overload of work and overproductivity. Stop watching productivity channels on YouTube. Stop. Because that's another problem a lot of you guys have, which thank God I don't have that problem. I worked on that. You know what that is? Watching productivity channels like Ali Abdal and like there's so many people, and nothing against them. They're amazing people. I know what they're doing is amazing. However, it puts you in a state of pressure. It puts you in a state where forget about healing, forget about dealing with my feelings, forget about dealing with my problems and my thoughts. Let me just be overproductive. Let me do this, let me do that, let me get more work done, let me get more work done. So that's what you continue to do. So you never really deal with your own emotions. You never really let them come to the surface, right? You don't, because you're like, no, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. Overproductivity. Miss Perfectionist, OCD. Relax. That's what I need you to do. Relax. So that was today's live, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in my next one. And now go and get your ebooks. No, I normally use the same lip shade most of the time, which is Huda Beauty Icon. Thank you. Get yourself some transformational ebook, which is going to be the Rich Bitch Energy versus the Uber Girl. It's available at like a discounted price, an early bird pricing, as they say, before the launch. So thank you, Omar. Did you buy the book? I can't wait for you guys to read it, honestly. Thank you very much. And it's MeLadyEsha.com. And for coaching also, it is going to be MeLadyEsha.com. I don't know why my phone is not silent today. My phones are always on silent. I never like any kind of notifications. I'm on it. Thank you, Umar. I'll get in touch with you. I know I have something to send you the. I know. I'm really sorry about that. I have been like just a little lost and not been in a very good. Just been a little low, to be honest. And the reason I'm saying it out loud here is because people expect that, you know, if somebody is online, they're usually always in a good mood and they're always like, you know, energetic. And while that may be true, I'm a lively person, yes. And I do my best to be in that rich energy almost every day as much as possible, yes. But at the same time, you know, there are certain days when you're just overwhelmed, you know, especially if you're settling into a new place. Then you have, you know, work to do at the same time. Then you're a human, right? So it happens. I don't have to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. So today, and like actually the last 2 days has been kind of like that, but it always gets better, you know, it always does. I mean, it has to. And that is the rich energy activation mod, you know, because when you get into that low frequency, you know, you got to just be able to switch it back up again, you know. And sometimes that switch could take you hours, sometimes a few minutes. I mean, there's days when I'm just like, you get into that zone and then snap, 2 minutes, you're back in it, you know. And then sometimes it takes a few weeks, sometimes it takes, okay, not a few weeks, few days, few hours, yes, but never allow yourself more than just a few days. Never allow yourself more than that. No, you snap back into your rich energy as soon as you can, okay? Oh, thank you for buying a badge. That makes me so happy. Little badges are like candies. I love that. All right, ladies, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in my next live. You can go watch my previous ones. But this live today, I think, honestly, this topic was very important, and I hope that you work on this, okay? I hope I didn't miss out anything. I don't think so I have. I did that for that reaction. Thank you. That's so sweet. Guys, thank you. Bye.